So if so the elimination of the EIBI program, if this is an issue of equity, why not just expand that program?
Well, the reality is we need to look at the ability we have to serve as many children around this province as possible. And so it was important for us in this decision to be able to increase the supports we're giving to those more than 900 children that are going to be receiving this service, and also to be able to increase the kind of opportunity for service that we have in rural areas. So it was a matter of us looking at what is the best way to serve the most kids and give them the most funding we can.
Those people who are going to want to continue EIBI, though, are going to have to make up about $50,000 or thereabouts. That's a lot of money. So it sounds like that program will now no longer be available to anyone but the rich.
Well, let's remember that all but one of the EIBI service providers have said that they will be providing service to the families. We recognize that change for families, especially those with special needs kids, can be very difficult. Nevertheless, we'll be working with them to ensure that there isn't a significant disruption for their kids. The reality is, though, that this does allow us to serve more kids, serve them better, and we recognize, too, that we have to look at the outcomes. And when it comes to what was occurring with EIBI, we were not seeing any appreciable improvement in the outcomes for those kids.
But how can anyone but the rich, though, afford this program on a go-forward basis once government funding for it ends?
Service for autistic children is provided by government through funding that goes from $20,000 now to $22,000 for those 0 to 6. It'll also allow us to serve more children. That's an incredibly important thing, and it's important that we're expanding that service. When it comes to EIBI, yes, it's a change in the type of service delivery that these children will receive, but it is not something that we anticipate will cause a reduction in the kind of positive outcomes that we're seeing, and we will continue to work with those families to ensure they get the service their children need.
And if they want to continue that service, they have to come up with another $50,000 out of pocket, is that correct?
If they want to continue services beyond, and this would be true for any family, and this is what gets to equity. Any family may decide, and many do, that they wish to purchase services above and beyond what we are providing them funding for. Right now, that's the case. So any of the other 800 or more than 800 parents, minus the 70 on EIBI, any of those parents right now, and many do, purchase services above and beyond what we provide with the $20,000 that they're now receiving. So that situation isn't exactly changing. What we're doing is ensuring that that situation is the same for all parents around the province, that there's equity.
But wasn't the rationale?
A lot of parents are saying 22,000 or 20,000. It's not nearly enough. Actually, there is sort of an average among parents to say that what you need is $60,000. So if you want equity, why not bring everybody to $60,000 instead of bringing everybody to $20,000?
There is always a balance we have to strike between how much money we are able to provide to service those children versus how many children around the province we're able to serve. We're always seeking ways in which we can increase the amount of support we provide. And we've recognized from the beginning, as all governments have, that it's a very costly developmental disability to confront. Nevertheless, we are providing funding at an unprecedented rate. We've seen now a 10-fold increase, actually more than 11-fold increase in the amount of funding since 2001, and a $1.6 million increase just this year. So we continually strive to serve more children and to serve them with more funding. But the issue here is being able to provide an increase and also ensure that there is equity across the board.
Has EIBI been a failed program that you've been spending $5 million a year on it for apparently no appreciable difference in outcomes? Has that been a waste of money? No
appreciable difference in outcomes from the other way in which we provide funding. I don't think that means it's been a failure. We've tried to look at what programs we can develop. That was developed early on, and the science around autism is consistently changing. We follow that, so I don't think it's been a failure because of the kind of learning we can take away from those programs and the expertise that's been developed. Nevertheless, we do have a responsibility to those other families across the province to take a look at how wisely we're spending that envelope of autism funding and ensuring that we're getting the best for those kids.
But wasn't one of the reasons why
this news
the
today
government
is going to be incredibly difficult and disappointing for a bunch of families. What would you like to say to them?
Well, certainly for those 70 families, we want to make it very clear to them that we will be working with them through the transition time. This won't take place until the end of January 2010, and we will be working with them to make sure that they are connected with service providers, that we're giving them the support to them that they need during that transition so that there isn't a significant disruption for their child.